What's up, guys? Is Doctor McFarland here on a Tuesday, January 13th, and we're going to talk about some gear, shall we? So let me see where I'm at, and this is strange. This is strange. What do we got? I'm going to turn myself up a little bit. All right, so I can go a few different directions today. I can take your questions. I'm going to attempt to download, and my neighbor is trying to call my daughter through my number on her iPad. I'm like, geez, okay. I'm going to put it on airplane mode. Take that, neighbor person, so you don't call me all the time. So yeah, we're basically just going to answer questions, but I am going to go to the Neural DSP website, and I have not downloaded this yet, but I purchased it over the holidays, and it is the John Mayer plugin. So let's see where this is purchased at, where I can download it. So spelling neural is weird. N-U-R-A-L, Neural DSP. So let me know what you have purchased over the last, few months. And I know the NAMM is coming next week, so that can be an exciting topic to look at. Kind of wonder what was coming up next. Free trial. How do I just download it? I mean, I can do a free trial. I probably needed to go into my account. Let's do that. That's typically what you do on these websites. You go into your account and then you see what you have purchased beforehand. Okay, my account. I can see I have my orders. I'm going to go to downloads. I can download all that. Weird. Morgan Amp Suite. Those are neat. I do have the Fortin nameless plugin. I feel like I already have that. Let me check my check my applications folder. Let's go to Fortin. And these plugins, you definitely have to have iLock on your machine. Try to look at Neural DSP. Okay, so I have the Fortin Cali suite downloaded, and that was downloaded as of 2021. So that's been a while since I've had that one, or at least even when I've tried it. So I can play through that, and then let's go through the John Mayer X, and we'll mess with that. So install, run the installer, which I'm doing. Okay, cool. Let's see. I have this is the Air Sonic, which I have really grown to love. It's a really cool guitar. This has Nuevo 90 pickups, which is a P90 style and character pickup, but they are in a humbucker size, so therefore you don't get the extra hum that you would normally with a P90. And with that, I have recently picked up the Airstream, but the Jetstream version with the same pickups, which is cool. So let me grab that guitar. And this one has the Bigsby on here, which is really neat. Let me know if my volume is good. I feel like my volume could be a little bit louder, possibly. I'm going to go over here. Let's make this. Options. Okay, none. Just checking my overall volume. Seeing what that looks like. Okay, I see. Mix one. And there's really not a way to like adjust my overall mix. At least I don't think so. Comp play. Here's mix one. Interesting. Okay. So I am downloading a plugin. Let's see if I can pull up the Fortin and then figure out how to get my routing correct. I am using the Antelope Audio Orion Synergy Core. I had the Yamaha TF5 on my desk, and then I got a wild hair, which is hilarious because I have a lot of hair, right? And I am currently coming in on input something. Let's just go figure this out. Input channels. I'm going to be on. So I need to go back to my routing, make sure I have this correct. My comp record is on there. All right, so we're going to go to input number 1. Make sure this is right. Input number 1. Then my output can be on. Yeah, let's make it like 5 and 6. Which it would probably help if I actually plugged in the cable. Maybe. Maybe that would help. Let's go to the preamp. Let's turn it up. Maybe I'll turn that off. Make sure I go to high Z. Interesting. Sounds like there's a gate on it of some sort. Channel 1. Got something on there. Okay. Go back to the plugin. All right, I'm definitely getting volume. Let's go to the input, see if I can crank it up. And maybe, just maybe, I'll turn up the output. Okay, pretty good. Let's go to my mic pre. I'm doing something weird here. Let's turn that off. Maybe I got a second one open. That sounds good. I'll look cold. Yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad. This is the Jetstream. Let me put my camera down just a smidge. Check, check. It would probably help if I brought up this thing. Let's make it high Z. There we go. Now let's go back to my... Let's get this thing figured out. Let's turn my microphone up. How about that? I think I was messing with the wrong mixer or something. I'm still getting this workflow down the best I can. But as long as it sounds good on your end, then that's all I care about. Yeah, I've been using Mark in the Mix. I've been using Reverend guitars. Or my first one I purchased back in 2000 and I want to say 5, maybe 6, 5 or 6, something like that. And they've just always been great. And what you get with Reverend guitars is a cool body shape, a cool headstock. You always get lock-in tuners and really good Wilkinson hardware, custom design pickups, the bass contour knob, which rolls off in the low end. And then you got the tone control, which is like a high cut knob. And then you got a treble bleed on the volume. So it's kind of like taking your favorite guitar and just upgrading it to all the normal things that you would want to do to kind of customize your guitar anyway. So the more you know, my friend. The more you know. All right, now that I have that open, let me see if I can... I really don't have... I'm going to have to add something here. See if I can add it. I'm going to have to go here. And let's add this. And we'll make it... Oh, weird. No, that's not what I want. I want my Fortin to be open. There we go. I see. I'm having all kinds of fun today. There we go. I want this to be the Fortin suite. Okay. I'm so organized. Really, really organized. I'm good. So what we got here is just a big old let me make it large. Whoa, maybe it's too large. All right, you don't need to see my face. Here's my guitar. Here's the plug-in. And that sounds pretty great, actually. I'm going to move this over here. Now across the bottom, we have the clean, the overdrive, and the, or I guess OD2 and OD1. So here's the OD2. Okay, something like that. You can always turn up the master. You can turn down the gain. Whatever. I don't know how to... Oh, there we go. Cool. I really haven't played with this plugin in a long time. But I know it's great. It can do a lot of stuff. So what I typically do with plugins is, I know it's very popular to record a dry signal into your DAW, and then you can't see my face. Hello, here's my face. Record into the DAW, and then you basically add the plugin on the channel that you're recording onto, and you know that now your dry signal is going through the plugin. Maybe you're monitoring in real time, whatever else, but that can introduce latency if you don't have a very low buffer size as far as recording goes. It's funny. Yes, it is the Fortin from Neural. I just got a Nano Cortex, so I have been offline playing with that. Yeah, nice. The Neural DSP stuff is great. Okay, so there's the OD2, here's OD1. Now, so something else is going on here. We have some pedals, we have a hex drive. So the OD1, yeah, the OD1 has more of that mid-range in your face sound, and then the OD2 is a more scooped, but it's still good. Here's the grind. Cool. Cool. The grind off. Let's turn the Zool on. Oh, that's a gate. That's what that is. I don't really need the gate. Back to the hex drive. Okay, cool. There is an EQ. So if we wanted to like scoop some 5 and some 1 and boost some 2 and some 4. See, that little bit of change right there made like a huge difference. So anytime, no matter, regardless of what modeler you're working with, if you can add an EQ block after your amp and or cab or whatever, you can literally change the sound to be whatever you want. Doesn't matter if you're working with a Fender, with a Marshall, with a Mesa Boogie, with a Sodano. You can shape those sounds just by boosting and cutting different frequencies and get a world of different tones, whether if you're recording or playing live or whatever you're doing. It just sounds really good. So also you can change the speaker type and move the microphones around. This is another level of filtering and EQing the sound just by moving the microphone, right? So right in the middle, we're going to have the brightest. Let's go with the classic SM57. Okay, Okay, let's actually deactivate the ribbon mic. Okay, now I'm going to hold out a cord and move the microphone. Okay, so you can hear it change in real time when I go from the middle, which is going to be the brightest, to the very edge of the cone. So this is the little area here is the cap. Then we have the cone right here. So cap, cone, cap, cone, cap, cone. And then I can do, typically I do about, somewhere in between. So. Okay, let's deactivate this one and then activate the ribbon mic. Let's put this right in the middle. Not tons of difference. Move it back out. Okay, so that's pretty good. And then activate the 57 again. You can also choose to, we can pan these. Check this out. Pan them. Okay. Yes, I'm an excellent player, I know. Pan these back, and then we're going to flip the phase of one of those mics. Okay. Flip it back. Okay, pretty good. Pretty good stuff. All right, I'm liking that. I am liking that one. That one's pretty cool. Let's just say, for example, let me turn the output of that one down. Let's go back to my web browser. I'm going to click on this. Come on now. Web browser. Let's install the John Mayer. Pig squeals. AUVST. The app. Yes, the standalone. I was talking to some friends the other night, and they're like, "Now, what do you do on your YouTube channel?" And like, I typically make anywhere from like $150 to like $200 a month, which is not tons. I mean, but it's something, just through like Google AdSense and whatnot. And they're like, "Dude, you're making money just from doing things you would normally do anyways." I'm like, "That's right. I would just be sitting here all by myself, doing just playing guitar and just recording and whatever else." But I do it now in video form, and I share it to the world. And if you watch my video, I get, and you see an ad, then I get a little bit of money from that. If you see something that you want to buy and then click through my link first, then I get a small cut from anything that you purchase, whether that's through Sweetwater, Zounds, or Amazon. So I've never messed with Toman or anything like that, but I'm not sure what this is going to do. I'm going to activate Doctor McFarland. Yes. Yes. Let's put it on my iLock. iLock is being activated. Congratulations. That was relatively painless, which is great. I like things that are painless. I'm going to have the output of this be... What am I doing? I'm going to have the output of this one be on 7 and 8. How about that? So we're going to go to settings. Input channel is 1. And then my output is going to be 7 and 8. And lo and behold, we have audio. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just gonna, how do I just turn off the plug-in? I guess I'm gonna have to close it. I'm gonna close the Fortin plug-in. How about that? And now we're gonna go here and, man, I would really like all this stuff to be on the same window. That would be super convenient. Okay, I think I'm getting there. I think I'm getting there. John Mayer. Okay, here we are. Move that around. All right, cool. So the big draw for the John Mayer plugin is this. We have 3 different amps. We have a Fender amp. Okay. We have a Dumble, and then we have we have a 2-rock. No, sorry. That's a Dumble. And then we have a 2-rock. Okay, so here's the Fender. Okay, a little loud, probably. I can go into my mixer here. I think I can. Yeah, I'm just gonna connect these and bring it down a little bit. Okay, cool. We're back here. Now, another setting that you might want to check is the buffer size. I'm going to bring this down all the way to like 64. Okay, pretty cool. I like it. Let's go over to, we have bright volume-based treble output and bypass. So okay, something like that. We can also go to the Dumble amp. So this one is a darker feel and it's a little more woolly sounding. I'm going to check something real fast just to make sure I didn't mess something up. I think I'm good. I did something earlier and I just want to, I'm double checking my brain. No, I didn't. Okay, there you go. Okay, so far you're thinking, I mean, they just sound like clean amps. I mean, how could John Mayer be that cool and sound so good? I mean, I don't know. There's your 2-rock. Okay, now all 3 at the same time. Now we do have a room send. I haven't tried this one yet. Cool. That's pretty neat. Oh, we go 50-50 on it. I mean, honestly, I could probably just use the Fortin for like clean-ish and heavy stuff, and then use the John Mayer for my cleaner parts. If you're only sitting here at a desk and just recording by yourself, I mean, plugins are more than sufficient to do anything that you want to do. Now, the tricky thing comes in when you want to go play live or go play at church or go jam with friends. It's not as convenient to just take a computer and a FR speaker and record that way. It's just not. It's just not something that you want to do all the time. Now, one thing I do have, let me grab it real fast. Let me grab this thing here. What we have here is the Morningstar MC8 Pro. And I got this specifically to use with plugins. Okay, and as far as I know, you just plug it in to the device or the host. And then this has a MIDI learn option. So you just click on the preset that you want and then hit the switch. And it assigns that preset to that switch. Or same goes for like your overdrives or whatever else. Let's bring up, this has a just a boost on it. So if we turn that off, we get this. Right, it's literally just a boost. It's not doing a whole lot for you. So it takes the clean tone and it raises it up, but it also puts more input into the front end of your amp, which naturally will overdrive it. So if I go back here, let's go back here. I'm actually going to turn down this output. I'm going to just crank the living snot out of this thing. Yeah, this is a MIDI controller. So you can see you got the MIDI ports on there. It also has Omni ports, which is what you use to plug in like expression pedals and whatnot. But it's got a USB host and device, and you can use it to control head rushes and nano cortexes, hint, hint, and all kinds of stuff. And I mean, I would think if you took a nano cortex and combined it with this, it would be a powerful beast. And I did watch some videos before I brought the Morningstar on that exact same setup. So now I'm getting a lot of room sand here. Yeah. Yeah, I would think the core, you said the core? Yeah, the headrush core. I let my friend borrow. I did pick up a headrush core over the holiday as well. I still have my Prime down here. I just wanted something way smaller for my desktop. But you could assign stuff from the Morningstar to the core or any headrush device and kind of keep your headrush back behind you and just have the small MC8 at your feet. And, you know, that's definitely an option. As long as you got everything dialed in how you want. All right, that sounds good. So now we have just a nice high gain. something else is happening here. Something else is happening here. Let's turn off the spring reverb. All right, so with this reverb, what happened is reverb is now going into the front end of a very overdriven amp, and the extra distortion on the amp is amplifying that reverb, which makes it kind of washed out and bloomy sounding. So this is what you get with that. Okay, see how that works? I don't necessarily like that, so I'm going to turn it off. I wish you could change the order of these. I mean, that'd be kind of cool, but it's not a big deal, really. All right, now going back to our overdrives, I have turned up this boost, right? I can just crank it up. So now it's taking that really overdriven amp, and it's making it even more overdriven. Okay, how about the Half Man, which is the Klon Centaur? Okay, that rolled off some low end and also pushed a little bit of upper mid range. Okay, we have the Till Breaker. Which is the Tube Screamer, obviously. We can also put it on a Blues Breaker kind of sound. And then we can turn on a millipede delay. Turn the blend up. This is on 65 milliseconds, which is pretty short. Let's bring it up to like 200 something. Okay, something like that. We can bring the feedback up, bring the blend back down. Blend them down. All right, I like it. I like that. Let's turn that one off. So that is all pre-amplifier, right? Now we go to speaker, and we can move the mics around, which is cool. Okay, let me go back to my volume and turn that back down, and then turn my output back up. I wasn't playing John Mayer right there. I wasn't. Now we're back to EQ. So we have post compressor, which is kind of like a distressor compressor thing. See that? Something like that, and then we got our output, which sounds good. Maybe we'll do something like this. Okay, then with the EQ, we can roll up the high pass filter by turning it on. We gotta turn it on first. Okay, don't want that much low end taken out though, so we'll bring it back to about 90 or so. Okay, then the last little bit, we have a dream delay, which we can activate. Okay, turn the mix up. And then we also have studio verb. We'll turn that mix up. And we have a hall option and a plate option. Here's plate. Yeah, I mean, it's a cool plugin. I like it. I like it a lot. It's definitely not as high gain, obviously, as the Fortin. But that's a good thing. I mean, you know, sometimes every plugin doesn't have to fit a certain mold. It can just do its own thing and be done. So, all right, let's go explore some of the presets here. So here's a John Mayer Gravity Overdrive. Okay, I mean, whatever. It's just a sound. Gravity Lead. Okay, so that, I mean, that has some hair to it, but it's not like this overdriven monster that you absolutely have to have for lead stuff. So, one thing I did forget is the tremolo, which is on. See, is on just a little bit. I can maybe bring up the intensity. That is a harmonic tremolo, so it's going to have some cool texture to it. Let's go find another one. Let's go to, there's Ariel Posen. Let's go to John Mayer. Golden Gate, Gravity Clean, just plain dumb, lead one, lead live room. You know, Stately Blues. What's up, Richard? I'm using a plugin. This is the John Mayer Neural DSP plugin. I had the Fortin up earlier, but this is the John Mayer. Let's go to some other stuff. Room swells. How does that even work? I gotta figure that out. Wow. That is neat. Here's Soapy Space. Okay. Dream Sibling. Cool. Pretty cool. Everything's set. Let's see. Wow. Wow. A few more presets here. Brutal and ugly. Well, I mean, plugins are, if you don't know much about plugins, they're essentially just, I mean, every modeler these days is just a computer. So a plugin is really just giving you the GUI and the algorithms, and then the computer is doing all the heavy lifting of providing the the CPU to load everything up. That's really all the difference is. It's a matter of downloading a plugin and installing on your computer and then playing through it. I'm in the standalone version, obviously. Dreamalo. Something weird has happened. No. Something weird has happened. Joe Satriani has a plugin in John Mayer. Okay. Whatever. Kenneth Bloom. Rhino lead. Wow. That is interesting. Lead it all behind. Okay. Just a few more. Just trying it out. Cut through everything. So it'll be interesting to start recording and making some songs with these plugins. Let's actually go back to the Fortin plugin. I did like that one. It sounded good. Let me go make sure I'm hearing an input here. Yeah. When you're dealing with plugins, let me show you my screen, maybe. Let me show you my screen. So every interface, or most interfaces, will have. I'm having some issues here. Okay. I think this is going to work for me. Most interfaces have a way to, they essentially have a mixer built into the interface, right? So what you're seeing here is my Orion Studio control window. And then on channel 4 is my voice. If I turn that down, you don't hear it, and then you hear it back, right? because my stream is receiving a mix from mixer 1, all these inputs coming in, and that's how you're able to hear me right now. But what I've done is I've chosen input number 1 right here, which is on this fader, and you can reroute these to be on any fader, any organization thing that you want. So if I have this unmuted, you can see my guitar input coming in, and you also hear it on the left side because it's panned hard left. But I don't want that there. I'm going to turn this fader down and then have something like this. So let's see what I want to do. What do I want to do? Move this over. So this amp, or this is coming out of amp left and right, which is really like in my amp sim plugin. So let me turn this up. Make sure it's not too loud. Okay, stuff like that. There's my dock rhythm. Let's go into whatever these presets are. That's too loud. Turn it back down. We gotta turn these things down, man, so we're not blowing out our ears. I don't want to hurt your ears or be like, dude, this guy don't know what he's talking about. Okay, so that's an option. All kinds of factory presets. We can also activate this microphone, make it nice and bright. Cool. So that's how the mixer is working to our favor, to adjust all the different things coming in and out of the computer. Okay, make this a little bit bigger. I like it. I like it. OD2. Okay. Let's go find another preset here. Dreamer in the room. They keep changing the output volume of these things. I'm not sure why. And once you find a preset that you like, you just hit the floppy disk icon, and you can rename this to be like, you know, I can make it my own preset and just change to whatever I want. I'm a stone. Cool. Now presets can be good and they can be a time suck, but it just depends if you got you know a spare 10-15 minutes, just go through a few presets a day, and you know, you can store them, like I said, as under your own name, so you can tweak them to your liking, resave, and all that. Now, I need to have a switch on my foot, so when I need to cough, I can mute myself. But that was the good thing about having the mixing board. I could just reach over and hit mute, or maybe I can just have the box actually on my desk, so I can just just do it that way. But in this setup, I don't have a mute switch, and it's not always convenient to go click on my mixer and then go find the channel, then hit mute, and you know, da, 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 da. I can mute that way, but if I'm not conveniently already there on the window, then it's not as convenient. So. That's a good sound right there. I'm going to save that one as Doc Dirty Rhythm. How about that? So I can go to the user. Now I have a Doc Clean, Doc Dirty Rhythm, and Doc Rhythm 1. Let's go to Clean. And what's cool, I can choose all these. I'm going to have to figure this out. And once I do, I will make a video showing exactly how to set these up with your computer. But I can essentially go to Doc Clean, assign that to a switch, have my Doc Rhythm, have a Doc Lead, have a whatever over on these other things. I can go between different banks. It's a really powerful unit, and these things are about $400, maybe a little bit over 400. But if you're sitting here at a desk and you're tired of always having to use your mouse to go click and change things and just to change simple presets, then having a Morningstar or some kind of MIDI controller can definitely help you in the workflow of choosing all the things that you need. Another thing that you want to pay attention to is the preamp level. So if I bring this up, some say you want to hit around like negative 18 dB, because it will drive the, see, it'll raise the volume, but it also drives the front end of the amp more. So depending on what your gain is on your guitar input coming in, that will affect how these presets work. Here's Doc Rhythm. Okay, then we have Doc Rhythm, Dirty Rhythm. Okay, I like that, but it's very dry. So let's go to my effects now, and let's turn on some reverb, which is too much. Let's turn it down. Turn on some delay, and it's on ping pong. I like that. Let's turn the feedback down a little bit. Okay. So now I've taken my rhythm sound and I'm going to store that once again. So I'm going to now call this, Dirty Lead. Hit save. Okay, so now if I go down here, I have a clean, Dirty Lead, Dirty Rhythm, and a Rhythm 1. Okay. And I can store those across my 4 presets on the Morningstar and then just have instant access to those 4 presets whenever I want. And then maybe across the top, I can have like my delay pedal I can turn on and off. I can have these overdrives turn on and off, which is cool. I'm going to turn the Zool off here. Wow, I'm liking it. That is pretty nice. Going back to here and clean. So this one plugin can get nice cleans, nice rhythms, nice leads, and the only thing I don't like is I would prefer to have some tremolo on here, and there's just not, as far as I see, there's not a way to add tremolo. So, it's a little sad. I like having some tremolo every once in a while. But you can always add a plugin in the DAW to add tremolo to stuff if you want. But and that's really, I really don't use tons of other modulation stuff. I mainly just use tremolo. But now let me bring up the Kiesel Hyper Rig Kiesel. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm back. That's an unfortunate option. Is the plugin itself was automatically connected to. It was connected to input number 4, which is what my voice was on, and it just did not make a good sound. Tried to go change that real fast, and I had to mute everything and whatever else. So I'm trying to get this window situated. Sometimes the Mac is a little odd. All right, so now let's go here. Let's go to screen. Let's go to Hyper Kiesel, and there's that. Okay. All right, one more soiree through these plugins, and then we'll move on. Now, I don't have to play guitar. I don't have to do any of this stuff. You can ask some questions, and I can answer them. We can have a nice conversation back and forth. But if you don't want to participate, then these live streams are not as fun. It's all about you guys. I want you to ask me questions, and we can talk about stuff. Otherwise, I'm just here. I'm just here by myself, doing whatever. All right, we're back. Trying to get to my window. Okay. What are you using as a computer interface? Well, I am using the Antelope Audio Orion Studio Synergy Core. So it's a long word, but Antelope Audio is the company, and then Orion Studio Synergy Core is the interface. And I showed my mixer earlier, but I can show you real fast one more time. So there's the mixer that it has, and you can also add your own effects. And there they got a string of compressors and mic pre's and EQs and pull text and whatever else. So it's all pretty cool. And I'm going to click on current application. Let's try that. Jeez, oh Pete. Okay. So let me make sure this Fortin is closed, and it is. So I'm only hearing this. So now we're going to go to, let's go to factory, let's go to clean, and let's do like this kind of deal. Now, once again, this is a drawback, but this plugin does not have tremolo on it. And I'm not a fan. I like having tremolo on things. So it's just it's the way it is, you know. Maybe I shouldn't bought the plugin if I know I like tremolo and it doesn't have tremolo. Let's see what this thing does. It's pretty cool. There's all kinds of stuff in here. 90s crunch. Yeah, so literally just all kinds of sounds you can get from plugins. And then you can capture those sounds and then put them into your favorite modeler. If you have a head rush or a quad cortex or a whatever. So, not saying I would do that. I actually have some clones on my website. If you have a head rush, you can go buy those clones for $20. And more than likely, I will upload some sounds I get from these plugins over the next, few months or so. But if you're interested in that, if you want me to, make some clones off of some plugins that I have for your head rush, then let me know. That way I kind of know, what to do based on what you guys want. And then I'll put in the work and do it. Smells like Teen Spirit. You got to change the chords to protect the innocent sometimes. So, I changed all the notes, but I played the same rhythm. So if you don't know how to play Smells Like Teen Spirit, ret, you just go first fret on the bottom two strings, and you go fourth fret on the bottom two strings. So you got your F, B flat, A flat, D flat. Right, but then you got to change the notes to not get a copyright strike. So it's the way it is. All right, guys, I'm going to follow Joseph's lead. I'm going to go eat some dinner with the the family. And it's been fun. Thanks for hanging out with me. I did have a nice light right here that made me look a little bit better than I do now. But my wife is using it, and that's perfectly fine. I'll get it back in the studio. I will be making some videos tonight. I got to get in here and make some videos so I can fill out the rest of the month. I'm going to do some head rush stuff. Going to do some Toastmaster Pro, some Fractal on my Fractal channel, and literally whatever else you want me to make. So if you have suggestions on what you want to see on the channel, then go to drmcfarlandstudios.com and you can send me a message or an email via the contact page. And I will get that, and I will take your suggestions, and I will go do the work and make the videos. You can also click on the Discord link down below in the comments, not the comments, but the description of the video. And you can keep the conversation going. We can talk about amps, pedals, guitars, recording stuff, whatever you want over at Discord. And once again, if you're going to buy something anyways, I don't want you to spend any money, but if you were going to go buy something anyways that you need or want, then I have Amazon, Sweetwater, and Zounds affiliate links. If you want to help support the channel, then I get a small commission from that purchase. So I know it's very easy to forget, and you're like, oh man, I just ordered something from Sweetwater and I didn't click on your link. Well, I mean, it's fine. Don't worry about it. But if you want to support the channel and you remember to do it, and you were going to buy something anyway, then click my link and I'll greatly appreciate it. How do I find the Fractal channel? It will be, it's called the Fractal Audio Systems Weekly. And just for you, I will go find it real fast. And then I'll put it in the comments. How about that? So let's go here. Let's go to switch account. There we are. I don't have to put Fractal content on a different channel, but I'm going to do some experimenting this year just to see what the algorithm does. But I will be posting on this channel. I will have a video this week for sure. But there's already tons of other videos that I've already posted on this current channel that I just re-uploaded onto the other channel. And those videos were like from 2 years ago. So yeah. So if you want to have any questions about Fractal stuff, or if you want me to get an AM4, then I will save the money and I'll buy an AM4. But for right now, I'm just going to do videos on the Fractal FM9. And everything you learn on that, you can apply to the FM3 and to the AXFX3 and possibly even the AM4 as well. So that's the way it is. All right, guys, I'm out of here. You'll have a great rest of your night. Thank you for Richard and Joseph and Brian and Mark for chiming in and hanging out with me. And as always, I'm Dr. McFarland. I will see you in the next video. Keep rocking.